You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Wicked Single After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Wicked Single After
Tessie is the royal root is rally cry.
Tessie.
I'm very
do a little
ticklish.
Irish dance. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
All right.
This is the Boston Red Sox song.
Never heard of them. All right, Bing is for doing, and we're doing each other for the Wicked Single After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. All right, guys, I'm Jeffrey Masters. I'll be tweeting from Jeff Masters 1. Alex.
I'm Alex Schiffman, and you can find me on Twitter at Alex Schiffman.
And I'm Phil Svitek. You can find us here at AfterBuzz TV.
And I'm Naz Perez, and you can tweet me at Naz Perez.
All right. So we're doing 2 episodes today, Sad Girls Club and Slappy Days, and we have a special correspondent, Phil, to give us the recap for episode 5. Let's hear it, special correspondent Phil.
Live in the field.
Thank you, Jeff. Yes.
Jeffrey.
Well, here's episode 5. I really enjoyed it. We're looking for a new place. You know, I thought that was kind of cool. You know, going from Club Med to the Den. You know, that was a big shift. Here's the thing. There's some pretty shitty apartments in Boston. No offense to Boston, and you know, we saw some of the lowest of the lowest. And you know, typically when you start getting out of Boston, obviously Boston is a college town. But, you know, the big concern there was, I mean, I think they ended up in the neighborhood where average age is 30 to 50. I don't think that's going to work for the Den too much.
And
But they're 30 years old.
Yeah, but they're like
They don't
4
know.
and
Yeah,
but they
mentally they're 4 years old.
exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
That's exciting.
Are they still in Medford?
they didn't, it's just the Den.
Okay.
Why do they
It's
call it the
Denford.
Den? Do they
Well,
say?
you can't, you know, Club Med stays Club Med. Then you
So you can't have the same name for a different location, basically.
Yeah, but do they don't have any reasoning behind the Den? It's just called the Den.
It's just called Den. I mean, we might upgrade to a better name. I'm not feeling the Den right now.
Yeah, I don't really know if I love it
I don't think
either.
that's fitting at all for them.
You know what I did love? The kitchen. It looked very nice.
Yeah,
I
no,
can say.
it did.
Yeah, and you know what I
They're
did
stepping it
hate?
up.
The basement. It looked really grime.
I don't know why their laundry machine in the basement has quarters.
Yeah, you have to pay
No,
for
that's
it.
typical.
What?
That's
You're
typical.
oh, you have to. Where does the money go to you?
No. Your landlord.
So a random. I was like,
Yeah.
what? A random just comes in and collects some money?
No,
That's
that's
like having your
bum on
own
the corner.
vending machine.
No, that's typical. That is a typical thing. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but in your own house, that's kind of random.
I have got to get you guys. You guys don't know the Dropkick Murphys. You guys don't. Anyway, the Den. We're in a new place. Yes, we have to use quarters to use the laundry. It's a
Oh
typical
my
thing.
god, it's barbaric.
I mean, we
You
use
ever-
quarters here
Is
in
it for
LA, but
Wanda?
it's like it'll be in a common area or something. It won't be downstairs.
Well, that's the basement is a common space.
no, it's
in
not. It's
Boston.
their basement.
It was a huge basement.
No, all right. Just saying.
All right, what
Moving
else
on from
happened,
the
Phil?
Den. What else happened in
Lay it on
episode
us.
5?
All right, here's the thing. So Nikki's
Should
got
have
a
Josh
big.
Altman to do a real estate segment.
Nikki, as you guys know, she became a mixologist, but you know she was really kind of struggling with the test and things like that. She was gonna cheat, and we actually have her and Rachel calling in a little bit later tonight, and I was gonna call out her for the fact that really you had to cheat, but she did not. She did not, and she passed with flying colors the second time.
Yeah.
Well, what do you have to do? Just pour something in a cup?
No, it's a full test. Here's the thing: like you get certified in Boston, you are a true mixologist. It's not like here in LA where you're like, I want to be a bartender. Here you go, let me spit in your cup and call it a drink.
Well, in episode 6, she doesn't know how to pour a beer. She said they didn't teach me that in school.
I've never drank spit in my cup.
So there goes your theory
you know
for
what, guys?
Boston Beer School.
Yeah,
or
but you know
Boston
what? A lot
bartending
of people
school.
in LA are starting to get that mixologist name, and they're probably all just actors, but they're starting to have more of a prestigious title. So maybe the East Coast is
Mixologist?
rubbing up. Yeah, mixologist. It doesn't sound more important than a bartender.
Are they different, like by definition?
Yes, I think a mixologist actually
They
creates
cut, yeah,
the
they
drinks,
create,
right?
yeah.
They create their own drinks, whereas a
Well,
bartender
anyone
just
can
kind
throw
of
anything in a
I'm
cup,
calling BS.
though. Yeah, me
That
too.
sounds stupid.
I'm with you, Jeff.
All
Thank
right.
you, Naz.
Well, anyway, all right. So the big.
I want those 5 minutes of my life back.
Well, here's where it kind of ties in. By the way, Chrissy, big episode for Chrissy tonight. We haven't seen her in a while.
Chrissy's alive.
I
Chrissy
know.
is alive. And
Resurrected.
PJ, he's back in the fold. Him and her.
I can't wait to talk about him.
I can do.
You know, they had a little cold pizza that he brought over. It wasn't the greatest date, but it was. But anyway, so going back to Nikki.
Brought over cold pizza.
He brought over. I think it was warm, but it was so cold outside that by the time it got there, it became cold.
Excuses.
Well, I guess it's
I
not
know.
that counts.
Sometimes.
All right, so we're celebrating Nikki's accomplishment here, and the one thing that she wants is no drama, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
And then drama ensues, and her and Renee go at it, and that's kind of where we
Oh,
left off.
man.
And I'm being told that we have Rachel and Nikki on the line.
Oh my.
Oh my God, Rachel, Nikki, where you at?
Hey girls, you there?
Yay! Hi, Rachel. Is Nikki there?
We're so excited.
Yes. Can you guys hear us? Okay.
It's Nikki.
Hi,
It's Rachel. Yeah, we're so excited to talk to you guys. We love you so much.
Oh my God, we love you guys. You have no idea. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Congrats on finishing
We're
bartending
hanging out
school.
together tonight.
Are you having a little sleepover?
We are. We actually just, pathetically enough, we actually just ordered late night pizza, and I just ran down to get it and made sure that we were on time to give you guys a call.
Oh my God, that means so much.
You guys love pizza.
Yeah.
I feel like
No,
it's in
Nikki
every
loves-
episode.
Yeah, pizza is in every episode. Is that
I mean,
a
I
big
love
thing in
pizza, too.
Boston?
Oh, I guess so. I just realized that, huh? We do eat a lot of pizza here.
Rachel and
What's
Nikki,
wrong with that?
these hosts know nothing about Boston. Can you give them like the top 3 Bostonian things that they need to know? I mean, pizza's huge. We understand this. They don't even know the first thing. They don't even know the Dropkick Murphys.
They know everything. Listen. Jeff Masters, by the way, you're fabulous. I love you.
Cheers.
Okay. I mean, Boston, I would say like Fenway Park. Do you guys know Fenway Park? I'm sure you
Yeah,
know the
we know
Red Sox.
Fenway.
So I would have to say that sports is a huge Boston thing. But you all know that I love Derek Jeter.
We
Yes.
do. We do.
I'm
Has he,
wondering, do you have the Derek Jeter hookup, any of you?
I want him on season 2.
wait, has he reached out to you?
No, he hasn't reached out to me. I feel like there might be something wrong. Maybe there's a loose connection with my phone. So he's not going to give her a call.
Oh my God, you guys are amazing.
So we want to know, how did, do you pronounce it Rahiki? Rakiki? How did that team, how do you pronounce that?
Right, right.
Raiki.
Well,
Raiki.
Raiki came about. When did Raiki come about? Raiki came about when we were doing some like interviews, and we basically were just like, we're like a team, like how they do couples.
Yeah.
So we just combined the two of our names, and I used to be a rah-rah cheerleader, and like they would call me Rachel Rah-Rah, and then obviously Nikki Icky, so Raiki.
Oh, that's so
love
cute.
it.
I thought it was like a
love
rabbit
it.
hickey, and I was like, oh my God, where'd she get the hickey from, PJ? Okay, so give us the update on PJ. Right now, are you together?
Who?
You and PJ.
Oh, what I'm going to say about that is that right now at this time in my life, I'm very much happy and in love, but who's to say who?
Yes.
What's his name?
It might be with me. She loves me.
Is it with Nikki? Tell us the truth.
Package deal.
I mean, me and Nikki, Nikki's the love of my life, obviously, and any guy that comes around is obviously going to be number 2, and he has to be comfortable being number 2. Nikki and I are a package deal.
I
Well,
love it.
Rach,
Any guy I'm with needs to love Nikki just as much as he loves me.
that's
I
fair.
You are
agree.
not a single Rachel anymore.
You're going to have to change your Twitter.
I did not say that.
Yeah,
Stop.
My dreams are coming true.
You're not TMZ right now.
I remember I predicted your wedding at the end of season. It's happening.
You could predict a wedding. You really never know with me. It's kind of a little bit unpredictable.
You're
I'm
so
gonna marry you guys.
classy.
Nikolai.
I'm gonna officiate it.
Nikki, we know you just had a birthday. How'd you guys celebrate?
Oh my God, I did. I mean, how do you know that?
Because I'm psychic.
I
stalk you
can't
guys.
age myself. You know, Rachel aged me. Remember?
Yeah, we saw it. Well, I saw it on
She
Twitter.
got age wrong. She said 7 years older than Stevie. That's not the truth. I'm a lot younger than that.
So, you're a lot younger than what Rachel said you were?
Then 7 years older than Stevie.
Okay.
Oh,
Stevie was how old, Stevie?
I think he was
Stevie's
5.
25.
He was 5 or 6.
Stevie's 25.
Well, Rach.
But I mean...
Rach, I want to
You know
ask...
what?
Go ahead.
What's that?
Rachel, I wanted to bring it back to PJ real quick, and I wanted to ask you, because I remember what we just saw in the episode, you know, that you were, like, going on a date with PJ, and you were like, when do you have that conversation? How many dates is, you know, enough dates to have the conversation in a relationship? And I feel like a lot of girls, you know, like, want to know that, so I want to know what your take, like, what's the rule?
I mean, I think that, here's my whole thing is, like, you know, you're dating somebody and you think that everything, you know, you think you guys are on the same page, but until you actually have that official conversation, are you?
Right.
So, I mean, I think that the rule is like, until you kind of speak up and say your piece, like, you have to get to a place where you feel comfortable enough to state it and say it and know where you stand. I mean, I think too often people, girls specifically, will, like, go way too long with being like, well, I'll just wait for him to bring it up, and then, you know, they skirt along, 6 months goes by, and then you know, something finally comes about, and it's like, you know, the guy might be on a completely different page than you. So the PJ thing that you saw in the last episode was something that was definitely on my mind for a long time, and I had a lot of anxiety about it. I mean, I couldn't even, you saw me, I was way too, I couldn't even say anything to him.
I know,
and it was awkward.
And so, like, does the girl bring it up first, or does the guy bring it up first? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, what's your take on that?
You're now the relationship expert, according to Naz.
No, I think, Rachel, I think you're a clear, really good representation of a lot of girls, you know,
yes,
like
you're
our
very,
age.
very relatable.
Yeah,
Rachel.
you're so relatable, and that's why, you know, I wanted to get Rachel's take on that.
Yeah.
Because so many girls are single, and I feel like half the reason is because there's not that many great guys out there. Phil would agree.
By the way, Naz...
Yeah,
no, Phil,
with that.
Let's not get into my personal life. Anyway, so would you say that the guy or girl has to bring it up first, or like, what's your take on that?
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think it matters whether the guy or the girl brings it up. I think what matters is that it's spoken about. Like, I think that the biggest mistake that all girls out there make, myself included, is saying, well, things are going good, so I'll just wait and see what happens. And then before you know it, all this time goes by and you really don't know where you stand with the person. Like, I don't care if it's the guy or the girl. Bring it up, know where you stand, and if you don't, then there's a problem.
Yes,
I mean, I don't think it matters in this. I think that guys should ask the girl out on the date and all that type of stuff and court the girl and bring the girl flowers. I'm old-fashioned like that, but I think at the end of the day, like, you know what? If he's not bringing it up, know where you stand, girl. Like, make sure that you know what your status is.
Yeah, speaking of status, let's talk about your relationship with Joe. What is the deal with Joe? Like, we know that he likes you, so what's going on with that?
I mean, what is the deal with Joe is the question.
Who is Joe?
Does Joe know the deal with Joe? That's the question.
We don't know.
I know you guys had him on the show recently. I mean, does he know the deal with himself? I don't know if he has himself together enough to know what the deal with Joe is. I'm not really sure. It's hard to know what the deal is with somebody when they don't know the deal
with themselves.
What the deal is
Why
with
do you
themselves.
think it is that a lot of the guys on the show aren't like growing up as like quick as they might in other places?
Yeah, is that a good are they a good representation of guys in Boston?
I mean, I think they're representing themselves. I mean, I don't want to go as far as to say that they're, like, you know, it's every guy in Boston. I think that there's a lot of guys in Boston who definitely are a lot different than Joe and Chubs, you know, but I mean, I think that in general, there's a lot of guys out there, and especially now, you know, at this time, I feel like there's so many guys that feel like that they have more time than they actually do. I mean, I guess to kind of like, I don't know, I think it's more socially acceptable now to, settle down, later and have kids later and, get your career all set later. And I just kind of think that now it's kind of like representative that there's, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32-year-olds that are going out and they don't have, any sense of, let me grow up.
Right. We were talking about that in one of our episodes, how 30 is like the new 20. And that everyone's just kind of a lot younger and growing up. They just don't grow up anymore, I guess.
Are you guys getting courted now a little bit more now that because of the show? Are guys kind of coming up to you and saying, hey?
We wish.
Nikki, I want to hear, Nikki, let's hear from you. What's going on with Jimmy? Please tell me that you go on a date with Jimmy because God sent you to him, clearly.
I feel like me and Jimmy have this, connection, Like, when I saw him, honestly, I wasn't even paying attention to what he was saying. I was too busy, thinking about, okay, how's he sitting? And then I was like, okay, he owns this bar and stuff. Maybe he has to, fix, the electricity in the bar sometimes and stuff. So maybe he is kind of,
so blue collar.
And I'm, thinking all this stuff in my head as I'm sitting there. And I'm like, okay, his hands are big and stuff.
And
callousy. He's like a
and
man.
callousy.
You know what I mean? How I feel, Rach, about, men. I want him to be like a man. When I say, blue collar, I mean, a guy that's, tough. Who can, protect you, kind of.
Yeah, and you know what big hands mean.
They know how to, they're not, pretty boys that sit behind, a desk.
Yes.
And is there a...
So, Jimmy,
he fits that mold.
I think he's awfully cute.
Nikki, what about Chubs? Because I secretly really
want you to
hook up with Chubs.
I don't.
I honestly think that you could do better, but I just feel like it'd be so funny. I don't know. Does that happen?
Chubs is just Chubs. I don't know. I'm speechless. I feel let me just take this a little bit. Me and Nikki have actually had a conversation about this, and Chubs is his own animal. I kind of feel I don't know. It's hard. We saw him go on a date, and I think it was we hadn't seen that before, and it was weird for Nikki and me to even see him kind of be with a girl and talk to her one-on-one or try to. He kind of seems I don't know, he's kind of content where he is, and I just can't even picture him 10 years from now being with somebody. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't fit his mold. I've never seen anybody like him in my life, ever.
That blind date scene was awkward.
He's his own animal. Like I said in the episode, he's an animal, and honestly, they should put him in a museum. It's honestly, you guys don't even know. If you saw him in person, you just sit there. I'm sure your jaws would drop, and you would just sit there and just stare at this guy. He's unbelievable. You never saw anything like it. I swear.
That date was super awkward. I didn't know for you guys, but it was kind of painful to watch.
Yeah, I don't think he really knows how to court the ladies. He's not.
I was expecting
so lovable,
Chubs is so. I know it was chubby chaser. He's so charming. Whatever. He's obviously not the greatest, but he's a good time. And guys that are a good time are solid. But then I saw him on the date, and he just didn't deliver for me.
Yeah. Rachel, have you known Chubs when he's been in a relationship?
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Have you known Chubs when he's been in a relationship with somebody else?
No, well, that's the whole thing. No, the only Chubs that is known to me and known to anybody else is single Chubs. That's who he is, and it's almost to me at least, that's who he'll always be. And I don't even mean that in a mean way. It's just I can't ever picture him with anyone. You know what I would love to say, and I know, you guys say the whole Nikki thing. I would love to see Chrissy and Chubs get together one day.
Yeah, we were talking about that too.
At the end of this.
Our Nikki and Chubs is kind of more of a joke that we just...
we just feel like Chubs would just be
absolutely, absolutely. But, don't get me wrong. If Nikki came over one day and said, she had some type of drunken rendezvous with Chubs, I would hit the floor.
I would die.
That'd have to be on camera.
I would just be oh my God, oh dear Lord, you know what I mean? What has come of the world? But I don't know. I would, if anything or anyone, I don't know, just because of their friendship and stuff, it would be kind of sweet, I think, to see. But
oh, that's nice.
That's my take on it. I've never seen Chubs with a girl. I've seen them make out like on TV. I was actually not present for those makeout sessions, and even that was weird for me. So,
Lots of licking.
It's just like weird. It's weird.
All right,
So can you tell us about the slap? Because I think we are all very
there's
shocked
definitely
to see
an
that.
elephant in the room, and like,
Yeah.
what are you? Both of you thoughts on Chelsea? Go.
She doesn't look
I hope
like
you had a
very
shot.
What it is I'm like really honest about this. It was not very fun all the time to be in a situation with someone that you felt like just had hate for you or had hate for life. Like a lot of the time, it was really, really hard. And a lot of the times, and a lot of the times that you saw me, you know, it was hard. They were kind of like hard experiences and hard moments to go through and all that type of stuff. I don't have any hatred towards her. Like I honestly wish her the best, but I don't
you're
know.
so
like,
classy,
honestly,
Rachel.
It's honestly a hard subject for me to talk about because it's like, what do you really say about somebody who? I think that like kind of what happened on TV speaks for itself. Like, what do you really say to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we agree.
What I get from it is that she's just so unhappy, and I like feel bad for her, but still I don't like seeing what she does to people.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, I feel like she never really, like, one thing I do give to Chelsea, she never really ceased to amaze me. Like, I honestly really did try, and she didn't really seem responsive to anything, and I felt like there was really nothing that could be done by anyone or anything that would kind of, you know, give her one thing, you know, she's set in her ways. How's that?
Yeah,
the girl is set in her ways.
That's definitely true. Like we've noticed from episode 1 that, you know, she just has something against you. We don't know what it is.
She's a cock block.
Yes, and we kind of figured out that it's really just Chubs and the group of boys. You know, she's super protective, and you know, you're a cute girl. You're coming in. You're outgoing. You and Nikki are so, you know, lovable and cute. Like she doesn't want you stealing her men. Like she wants the attention. So I think that's kind of like where, you know, it stems from. But her hitting you was unbelievable. Like we were shocked.
She's an awful person.
That was
that is
not
acceptable.
Well, you know, she actually tweeted me because I when I tweeted out you guys to watch the show, she wrote back like, all I'm gonna say is that sometimes I wish you guys could be a fly on the wall, like basically saying that from her perspective, like she was right, you know, not necessarily in that episode. This was a few episodes ago, but she feels that, you know, it's all your fault. And I don't know, as a viewer, you know, we see it the other. I mean, personally, in my opinion, I see it the other way around. I think she just has
because
she's
Rachel
out to get
tried.
him.
Yeah, Rachel, you definitely tried. I mean, she just called Nikki. That's obviously going to put Rachel like in a really awkward situation. I don't know. I just feel like she's an instigator.
Yeah. Going off of that, do both of you think that's like a accurate representation of yourselves? Like, are you guys happy with like how they portrayed you with cutting and editing?
You know what? I'm gonna say that is everything 100% right on, and I'm like, and I watched the episode, and I'm like, yeah, no. But do I think that at the end of the day, like, you know, cut and dry, that for the most part, you know, like, you know, our friendship is, like,
I think that comes through, and that's like important to us that like people see like our friendship because we really, you know, off camera we're the same people together, we're best friends. So that was important for me to like for people to see our friendship and how we are together.
I think that the way that we deal with conflict too. I mean, like whether you're talking about the Chelsea thing,
we deal with things differently, and like sometimes I don't see things like right away, and Rachel sees them, you know, right away, and then it takes me like a couple days, and I'll like to see how things really are, and like sort of like the night at Chubs' house when Rachel and Chelsi went at it, I didn't really see like where Rachel was coming from it like right away. Like I just like felt like Rachel went downstairs like out of the blue and got in this fight with Chelsi, but that's not really how it was. And you know, like it takes me sometimes a day to see things and see like who people really are, because like, you know, like I wanted to give Chelsi a chance, but like in the end it wasn't.
And as did I think we both did, but I think at the end of the day, it's like we kind of like balance each other out. Like we just, I mean, Nikki has like these qualities about her. Like I think it's like a little bit of like a Nikki Rachel love story too. Like if you guys like look into it. I mean, we've always been friends, but I think that if anything kind of came out of, you know, anything with like the show and stuff is that like we went through these experiences, and a lot of them were like really hard experiences, and they tested us a lot. And I think if anything came out of it is just kind of like we grew closer, but also like the differences that we have, and the different ways that we're compassionate, and the different ways that like we perceive things and see things. Like, I mean, I think like the TV is the best mirror, and then just I'm able to actually see things from Nikki's perspective, and she's able to see them from my perspective. So maybe getting away from the question a little bit, but I mean, I think that that's like the most important thing that like her and I have gotten out of this is just kind of like the growth of like our friendship. I don't know if that sounds cheesy, but
no, of course. I think it's so nice seeing you guys like work out issues and conflict with each other, because you just like talk it out, you explain each other's sides, you listen to each other, and I don't know, it's really nice to see.
No, we love you guys. I love that you guys are so ride or die, you know, and I think that's another reason why, you know, Chelsi kind of doesn't like that, because when you look, you know, thus far past in the season, like
she
Chrissy
doesn't have a teammate.
Chrissy, yeah, she doesn't really have a ride or die partner, so it's nice to see that come from you guys.
Nikki, how do you feel?
I feel like it's sad because, like, I mean, I'm confident in who I am. Like, I love who I am. Like, what people say about me doesn't faze me, and I love who I am. And I've never really understood when people don't, like, the jealousy, like Chelsi with her jealousy and stuff. Like, I've never been a jealous person. Like, I can always, like, maybe find something good in somebody, and that's in the beginning of things. Like, I was like, all right, let me give Chelsi a chance. And, you know, I really wanted to get to know her and stuff, and she just, like, totally shut me down right away. And I guess I just didn't understand that because I'm not used to things like I'm not used to people not liking me. I'm pretty much a all-around type of girl. I've always been, and not a jealous girl, and I'm not jealous of other girls. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of jealousy issues with Chelsi, which is sad to me.
Well, Nikki, like, how do you feel? Because I know you and Chelsi kind of not made up, but you're trying to be civil. But after this last episode where, you know, she hurt Rachel very badly, how do you feel? Like, are you not gonna speak to her anymore, or how does it play out?
I feel like I can be in the same room as Chelsi, and like I can, you know, we can be civil between each other, but honestly, at the end of the day, Rachel's my best friend, and like sometimes I don't know what to do in a like situation, like a dramatic situation. I get really nervous, and I don't like fights. I've never been in a physical fight or anything. And like you see in the episode when Chelsi slaps Rachel, like I was shocked, like, and I was nervous. Like I thought this girl was going to come at both of us. I didn't know what to do. And like at the end of the day, like Rachel's my best friend, and I am going to stand by her. And, you know, honestly, like, I can be in the same room as Chelsi, but I just don't, I mean, I'm always going to be by Rachel's side, no matter what.
Great.
Thanks, Nick.
All right. All right, before we go, you don't want to tell us who you're in love with, Rachel? You sure? Give us the first letter.
Can I just say that, I just want to let you know that, you know, you commented on, like, you know, my bronzer, like, you know, half my face is brown and then my forehead's white. And you know what? I laughed out loud because I have a problem. I guess I just don't know how to apply it.
I'm sorry.
Jeff, you're an a-hole.
Realize I have to stop with the bronzer.
No, do not. No, I am obsessed with the bronzer.
Yes, we were talking about when you commented how, you know, when you were hungover.
When I put bronzer on, I'm so much happier.
And you put
it's
your
so
bronzer
true.
on, and it was like the day had completely changed into a positive day. Like, we get it. Like, we get it.
Yeah, like
Keep
if
your
you're in a
bronzer.
bad mood, put some makeup on.
Yeah.
You know? I'm serious.
I mean, I just always loved bronzer, but I mean, I'm watching these episodes and I'm like, wow, maybe you overdo it a little bit.
We can blame it on the lighting. It's not you.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
lighting.
I have a question for you guys about Chrissy, because she was kind of like out of it for like a couple episodes and now she's back. And I just want your guys' take, because I get like you know, a little sense of like a little bit of, I don't want to say this, but wishy-washiness, you know, because she's like, she never wants to get involved, but she's also, you know, like, what are your thoughts on that? Are you guys close with Chrissy at all?
I mean, I think, and this is Rachel. I mean, me and Nikki, we're friendly with her. I consider Chrissy a friend. I'm obviously not as close with Chrissy as I am with Nikki. And you know, seeing some of the things play out on the episodes as they did, I mean, I never, you know, I have not one ill will or thing to say about Chrissy. So some of the things that she has said, just little things here and there, have like disappointed me in terms of like what you say, like the wishy-washiness of it all or whatnot. But I mean, I take it for what it is. I'm not super close with her. I consider her a friend, and she's never done anything to like really seriously betray me. And I just view it as maybe she's just trying to stay out of the conflict, and I take it at face value, to be honest with you. I think maybe a part of that is that, like, you know, Chelsi brings and has brought, you know, so much conflict and so much drama that it's been like draining and overwhelming at times, and maybe the Chrissy thing would be more of a big deal, but I do take it at face value, and I recognize too that she's kind of in a hard position because she is friends with Nikki and myself, and then at the same time she also is, you know, friends with Chubs and Chelsi. So maybe in her defense, that she's in a hard position, she doesn't know how to deal with it. That's kind of how I take it.
Nice. So, I mean, we're obviously still in the middle of the season, but it's over for you guys. Can you guys just kind of tell us, you know, about the experience, what the season was like, and what's next for both of you?
Yeah.
I would say, you know, we were, you know, jumping into something like this, like me and Nikki were like two girls from Boston. You know, two little girls with like big dreams, and we were really excited to get this opportunity and to embrace it. And it was a crazy experience, but it was definitely a fun experience, and something that, like, in so many ways is indescribable, to have like a camera kind of capture some of your most vulnerable and sometimes funniest moments. So it's something that I'm definitely going to cherish and not take for granted. I live with no regrets, so I'm really happy, and I think in terms of what's next for me anyways is that, you know, hopefully a season 2, and if not, I mean, who knows, maybe me and Nikki will be up to our own little new endeavors. You never know.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
What about you, Nikki? What's next?
Yeah, it's bartending your career.
To live in the moment. This experience was unbelievable for me. It was like a dream come true. And sometimes I would just take a step back and I would be like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, everybody that's involved in the crew and everything. And I was like, I can't believe these people are following me. And I just, like, really tried to live in the moment, because I know that it, you know, you can wake up someday and it can all be gone. So I really enjoyed every moment of this experience. And, you know, I look forward to, you never know, like, what can come about with me and Rachel, and we might pursue other things.
Or maybe it will be Rachel, Nikki, and Rachel's future husband.
Oh, future husband, so you're engaged.
I think we're getting an AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
And Nikki's future ex-husband, because nothing lasts forever.
That's all right, Nikki. There's so many guys out there.
All right, well, thank you so much for calling, guys. Bronzer or not, we love you both.
Yeah, we're huge fans.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. We love you.
Have a good night. Love you guys. Mwah.
Thanks. Oh, they were so
Bye.
nice.
Bye.
And still here. Oh, that's great. That's so cool to hear it, like, from them, like, their perspective. And very genuine.
It is
I love that they called in, because I love that it gave them a chance to, you know, speak for themselves. And, you know, Rachel's like so well spoken.
Yeah,
and,
she
you know,
is.
and you know, you're on this show and you don't know how people are going to perceive you on the other end of the camera, on the other end of the TV, you know? So I think that, you know, it's great that they called in, and I think we got to know a little bit more of them.
See,
you know?
like, how editing can, you know.
By the way, I encourage you, Chelsi, if you're listening, we encourage you to call in as well.
Yeah, we definitely want Chelsi's side of the story.
We do. Chelsea, we don't want you to feel left out. And Chubs.
And Chrissy.
Yeah, I know, but Chubs is my man. Chubs. Chrissy, you can call
Chubs, you call in, you got a date with Alex. Paid for by Phil Svitek.
Not if he's going to act the way
That's going to be a cheap date then if Phil's paying for.
Whoa. Marissa, I roll out the bills. That's right.
We're joking.
But speaking of dating, we saw Chubs on a blind date this week with
Yes.
What's her name? I don't know.
Crystal?
Crystal? Was that her
I
name?
think.
She was pretty. She was cute.
Clearly not that memorable.
I don't know. She was cute. It was fun to watch. And that's not true. It was awkward. It was uncomfortable.
Yeah, but that's entertaining.
I just wasn't like Chubs. Like, you've got better manners than that. Like slurping and drinking and drinking and drinking. Did I say that?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think for a guy, the reason why I think Chubs is ultimately the way he is because I don't think
society.
No, I don't think he's figured himself out yet, and he doesn't actually have the confidence to take a girl on a date. And I don't think he ultimately knows how to do it correctly, and so that's why we have the Chubs that we see today that just is licking girls at bars and calls it kissing.
I think you're right. I think you're right on
agree.
that confidence factor.
Yeah, and I just think that he is who he is, as Rachel and Nikki both said.
All right, I'm gonna even there's so many guys that I know that can get the only way they can pick up girls is if they get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, they don't even know how to go further with it.
And
I know
they
so
do
many
that
guys
on a date with them.
They don't. Here's the thing: if they ever get on a date with them, again, they fold. They don't know what to do.
Really?
That is so. Oh, God, we're doomed.
Depressing.
I know.
There's good guys out there. Just letting you know.
That's debatable.
As Phil points himself.
I did not point to myself.
This is all ploy for Phil.
No, but my favorite part, it was when he's like to the waiter, yeah, can we get 2 more drinks? I'll drink them both.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even offer her the other drink.
She was keeping up with him, though. That was the shocking part.
Because she was so uncomfortable. She had to.
Yeah, but you have to keep up. Exactly. You have to just get drunk, especially if you're on a bad date.
And then at the end, he was like, so how'd it go? Like, he leaves nothing to the imagination. He's like, did you have a good time?
And she was
And again, here's the thing. I think it just stems from him. Like, he can't leave that place without knowing how it actually was. Because the good news is, at least he's trying to learn. By asking that question, he knows in his heart, like, this was crap. But
no,
he doesn't know in his heart. He thought it went so well.
Yeah, all he wants is like a pat on the back and reassurance that like you got wasted, but it's okay.
He goes, what else you got for me? That's what he said on the date.
Well, he had a really quote that I found a lot. He had a quote that I found a lot of truth in, and it was, "If I come home from the date, if it's a bad day, I'll come home hammered. If it's a good day, I'll come home hammered." Like, I feel like either way, a lot of people. Like, either
Not
way.
just speaking from personal experience.
No,
right
maybe. But I don't know. I mean, he came home hammered. So which one was it? What do you guys think? I think it was a bomb.
Yes.
I think that was a failed attempt.
But she said she'd go on another date with him. You think she was just saying?
Yeah, but she was like,
because she didn't want to say no.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I don't know. Crystal knows what's up.
First of all, why would you ask that? If a guy ever asked you, would you go on a date with me again? That's like extortion. You have to say yes.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
It's an awkward position. It's like
a pity.
Yeah.
It's a charity case.
How much money do you think they spend on cabs going out every
I don't know, but he knows the cab. We met the cab driver.
Yeah.
We met Mark. Is that his name? Marco?
I don't know.
He called him James. I thought that was really funny. Like, brought him back to 30. But yeah,
right.
he was, I don't know, maybe Marco cuts him like a deal or something.
Maybe. I thought that was
He'd
just
probably
a
get a
dab.
deal on
on
that
the
pizza
distance.
place too.
Yeah, that pizza place, the cabs, they're like, and that bar.
I don't know we should go to Boston and go to the Greatest Bar. Oh, I forgot to ask Nikki if she's still bartending there.
We forgot.
I know. I know.
man.
Wow, that was stupid.
We
should go.
My personal opinion, I predict that she's probably not still bartending there because
She's dating Jimmy.
She's dating Jimmy. And she didn't do so well on her first.
It
I mean,
was
it
a
was her
rough
first
first
day.
Okay, I was a bartender. It's really hard your first day. It's so intimidating because people that are, ordering drinks want it now, and they want, they think it's like McDonald's that every drink's gonna come out exactly the same no matter where you go, and it's not. And
He seemed very
scary.
understanding. Like, he knew it's a hard first day. It's like hard to do.
Yeah, and pouring beer is like even hard too. You have to like tilt the glass. If people get a lot of foam, they get mad. It's hard. It's a struggle out
All right, so
there.
what do you guys think about Chrissy and Chubs, all the chemistry we saw this episode?
Love it.
Really?
I love it.
I was shocked to hear that they had dated previously.
Yeah, we learned something in this episode that they did. What'd she say, 8 years ago?
Was that long?
I think she
Yeah,
said
it was a
8
really
years ago.
long
they
time.
dated.
Oh my God.
And she said that it was at that point in her life they were kind of like at the same level.
They like traded like wait, how old were they 8 years ago?
He was 22.
Yeah, 22.
Okay. She was
She said she
14.
was kind of had more of a fast-paced life, so like Chubs fit the mold.
Wait.
But
Sorry, that doesn't make sense. She's like 24 or 25. She did it when they were 16, 17.
So they traded Gushers for Fruit Loop and made
you
out?
can date at 16, 17.
Not a 22-year-old.
Yes,
who's
you
drinking.
can.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
16 and
Jeff,
22.
grow the F
That's
up.
right.
I
That's
don't know what they
illegal.
do in Boston, but
I-
that is not okay
Really?
in South Florida. That's not classy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Rachel would not
16 and
approve of
22.
that.
Isn't that illegal?
Didn't she have parents? No, she's at prison. I forgot.
No, she works in a prison, Jeffrey.
Is that how they met?
Oh my God! Did Chrissy and Chubs meet in prison?
No, I'm kidding.
They need a prequel.
Chubbs got kicked out of the bar, taken to jail.
Wicked
his
Together,
prison-
followed by Wicked Single.
Do you guys think there's a future for Chrissy and Chubbs in the episodes?
I think so, and I
Well,
think
she
Chelsea's
said-
gonna be pissed.
We saw at the
Oh, there
charity
was major
event.
jealousy.
She said, "Oh, well, we'll
What?
talk about that in a second."
Alex,
Sorry, I got really
whoa.
excited about that. No, but at the charity event, she said if Chubb was sober Chubbs,
Yeah,
she would think about rekindling the flame,
but not.
which is exciting.
Yeah, not to be judgmental. It doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Well, Chubbs obviously watched the episode tonight, so maybe he's like, "Damn, I know the way to Chrissy's heart."
Yeah,
and I'll
she's
give up
really cute,
alcohol
too.
for her.
Doubt it.
Probably
No.
not.
Probably
Yeah. What were you going to say though about the club?
Oh, Naz brought up about Chelsea and her jealousy. Chelsea and the jealousy.
No, you know what? Let's give Chelsea the benefit of the doubt, and I want Chelsea to call in and give us her side.
I do too.
You know?
I do too. Chelsea, if you hear us, let us know because, it's not fair, like you said.
Because
I haven't been a fly on the wall, so we don't know. And
Yeah,
we'd like
she's
to hear
right.
your side of the story and give you.
Yeah, although I think it was awful that
Opportunity.
she hit Rachel. At the same time, think about it. She is really close with Chubbs, and Chrissy. Well, I don't know, because it's like Chrissy used to date Chubbs, so is he technically hers
Her
forever? You know, like that unwritten girl rule. But Chelsea's been around forever. She's always had Chubbs' back.
But if that
Do you know what I mean?
If that rule's real, 8 years like disseminates it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Chrissy knows. Chrissy should know, because America knows that Chelsea has a crush on Chubbs. So is it right of Chrissy to be flirting?
Let me
with
ask you this:
Chubbs?
Do we believe the rumor that Joe and Chelsea hooked up? Because Chubbs is buying into it.
What?
Remember, because that was Rachel's big thing, right? The whole blowout, whatever, an episode ago or so, whatever it was, right? And then as they're bowling, Chelsea and Joe had that weird interaction, and Chubbs for a moment, he had a real moment of like, did they actually hook up? This is crazy.
I don't know, but that leads into my prediction.
Let's hear it, Naz.
My prediction is actually they kind of like said it. I mean, they showed it.
Who said it?
Joe was hitting on Chrissy.
What?
So
No way.
yeah, remember?
If they hooked up, you think they just kept it a secret and didn't tell anybody?
I don't
By
know.
the way, I
if
said
he's hitting
Chelsea,
on-
Yeah,
not
Chelsea.
Chrissy. I said
Chelsea and Joe. have
Who?
hooked up.
Too many C's.
Is there a difference?
Chrissy.
There's one character. Wait, who are we talking about?
I was.
So there was a rumor about Chelsea and Joe. We're talking about in the preview for next week's episode. Naz said that you saw Joe hitting on Chrissy.
Joe hits on Chrissy.
Not Chelsea.
Not Chrissy, Chelsea, Relsey, Lelsey. There's
So what was your
many.
prediction?
That Chrissy and Joe go on a date. And
No. I thought that was like clever cutting. It's not going to happen.
Well, that's my prediction.
What happened to Renee? Is she still, where do we feel she's in the mix?
Renee's back. I
Well,
thought
what's your
next
prediction,
week.
Jeff?
I haven't come up with it yet. Wait,
Then come up with one right now.
Renee's back in the next week's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she was in.
Yeah, she
episode
was in 5.
Yeah, she started some drama.
Yeah, she was kind of the instigator of the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah.
she got kicked out of the club.
Renee's trouble.
Renee.
Renee. What is your prediction for next week, Alex?
My prediction is that Chrissy, because we saw in this last episode how she's like kind of stuck up for, we said that she was kind of a yes girl, but at the same time she was like, you know what, I like Nikki and and maybe you should have done this. I think Chelsea's gonna be alone. Like I think everyone's kind of gonna go against Chelsea. Chrissy's gonna join the Riki crew, and Chelsea's gonna be alone. I feel like the guys are gonna get fed up with it. Like she can't be starting drama like that and hitting people. And I feel like
I think Chelsea. Here's the thing. After seeing Chelsea's interaction with just the guys a little bit more, I feel ultimately she's gonna piss them off a little bit too.
That's
what's gonna isolate her.
Yeah, and then she's gonna be isolated.
She came over to basically watch them move, but she didn't help.
Right.
You know, I mean, granted, okay, you don't expect too much help, but you could do something.
Right. And to bounce off of, piggyback off of that, even Chubs was like, you know what, Chelsi, we're gonna end up at the same bar as Rachel. It's inevitable. You know, like they're all together,
Right.
they're all on the same show, and she's like, I don't care if you guys go out and you invite her, I'm not coming. You know, so that's kind of annoying because, you know, she's their friend too.
Well, it's almost just kind of immature, you know. It's gotten to that point.
Not almost. It is immature.
It is immature. It's like there are people that I, you know, don't necessarily think are the greatest or like love. But when I see them out, like I'm mature enough and, you know,
you're the bigger
secure
person
in my own skin that I don't have to be mean to those people. And I think that Chelsi just needs to learn that. Like, it's okay that you don't like the girls. Like,
which leads to my prediction. I think Chelsi will go on a giant eat, pray, love odyssey, find herself, meet an Italian man, gain happiness and self-awareness.
I think you're going to say gain pizza.
Gain pizza.
And on that lovely note.
And on that
pizza
note,
was the theme of
I can't wait for that reality show, Chelsi. So, we'll see you next week. I'm Jeffrey Masters, and I'm tweeting still from Jeff Masters 1.
I'm Alex Schiffman, at Alex Schiffman.
And you can find us here at AfterBuzz TV. And remember, you can now stream us live on your iPhones, iPads, Androids. You don't just have to sit at your computer.
So open your iPad and follow me at Naz Perez.
Oh my God. All right, this is another AfterBuzz TV after show. Thanks, guys.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
Yeah.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.